This is the 4th weekly update for Clucky'S, and it's finally here, folks. And we have brand new lore to share with you. In the game page, it indicates that there were cassette tapes added, and we also have a brand new lobby. So we are going to go over these updates and all of the lore that we're able to find. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for the GW channel so you stay on top of all the latest Clucky info. So this is the updated lobby. Everything is a jungle or swamp themed, and it reminds me of Rufus. There are even lily pads that you can jump in. Other than that, there's really nothing noteworthy that I've been able to find. I think that they did this so they can match the theme of the Rufus crate that you can now open. It costs Cluck Bucks, so you know what that means. Robux, cha-ching! Now onto the lore, guys. First of all, when you go to the basement, the closet is no longer boarded up. And here you will find another shelf to your left and a table with what appears to be a cassette tape player and speakers. Additionally, we can now get up close to see the corkboard. The first thing that I noticed on that corkboard is that we are now able to read the first word of each sticky note. What I am uncertain of is what the significance is of 1997. Hopefully we find out soon. Now here we seem to have more detailed drawing of the Clucky'S map, and you can see everything that's actually in the map that's in the game, including the ball pit monster. As he's the only one on the map, and in the Game Tune series, not even Clucky wants anything to do with the ball pit monster. I now think that the ball pit monster might not be one of our people that have turned into a mascot. Now, what I've also noticed is that there are 3 more pieces of the Southwest Gazette that we can read, which I'm so excited, so let's get right into these. This is the first one, Mysterious Disappearances on Route 117. According to Wikipedia, Route 117 is located in North Carolina, southwest of Raleigh. Could this be an article from that area? Let's read and find out. So I'm not able to make out everything. However, we see here in the first paragraph that Route 117 is referenced as an area that is remote and unforgiving near deserts of Arizona and New Mexico. Additionally, this area has a natural beauty but a dark reputation. The second paragraph indicates that since the early 1980s, people have gone missing while traveling on Route 117, with disappearances occurring during broad daylight. In these disappearances, there were no signs of struggle. The third paragraph talks about one of the most well-known cases is that, well, it's cut off here, but it continues to say a college student disappeared in 1981. Wow, okay, so we have a lot of people disappearing on Route 117. What we do know is it's in a beautiful yet dark desert in the remote areas of New Mexico and Arizona. So I did a little more digging, and what I was able to find is that New Mexico has a state route, not a U.S. route, but a state route 117. It does lie just east of the New Mexico-Arizona border and is about 2 hours away of Albuquerque. And from what I can tell from Google Street View, man, it looks like the desert we've been seeing. So this could be it, fellas. We could be near the Clucky'S restaurant where these people are actually disappearing. All right, so moving on to the ball pit monster article. This one is a news clipping, and it has a pin leading to the ball pit monster with no title or anything, but here's what it says. But the thing was, nobody ever seemed to find it. It was like it went on forever. Anna remembers one boy in particular. She can't recall his name, but his face is burned into her memory. He was a couple of years older than me. One day he dove in, and he never came back up. We wished, thinking he was playing a prank on us, but he didn't come back. Panic set in amongst the kids. They scrambled out of the ball pit and ran to tell the adults, but to their disbelief, the co-workers and even their parents seemed to brush it off. They just kept telling us that he probably snuck out another way, that he was playing a joke on us, that we knew what we saw. As the years have passed, Anna had tried to convince herself that it was just a childish prank, a trick of the memory distorted by time and fear. But every so often when she lies awake at night, the memory comes flooding back. That feeling of dread she felt as she watched the boy disappear beneath the surface, the way the ball pit seemed to swallow him whole, and the unsettling sense that nobody seemed to care. Anna's story isn't unique. Something here is that the community have similar strange memories of their time at Clucky'S. Stories of the ball pit, of strange blank, and then it cuts off. All right. So we have our first glimpse into the ball pit monster. Children were reporting stories of kids getting swallowed up in the ball pit, just like Anna had spoken of. What are your thoughts on this? Could the boy have possibly been the ball pit monster? A lot still remains a mystery around the ball pit monster, and perhaps there is an even greater evil that lurks below the balls. Now, so moving on to our third article, we have a third piece of lore called The Decline of Fast Food from the Gazette. Most of it is cut off, but here's what we can make out. In the bustling world of the 1990s, where convenience reigned supreme, fast food chains seemed unstoppable. For the fast food giants, blank posed a serious challenge that had been there. And then you can't make out the words, but here are some like burgers and fries. And really, this isn't that legible, and we're not able to make out much of it. It also has some cut-off words like Clucky'S. What I'm thinking is we're going to find out real soon about how the fast food empire declined and how that was tied to Clucky'S. I'm sure it's tied to Clucky'S because the 1990s was right when all of the almost chicken was going out. Now let's talk about that tape player. As you may recall on the game page, the description of the update had indicated that there were new hidden cassette tapes to find. For the younger audience, cassette tapes was a way to record and play music in the 1980s, early 90s, before CDs came out and later digital music. Now, there are 4 cassette tapes to find, and there is one in each of the 4 rounds. Once you find them, you have to return them to the tape player located in the basement. So where are the cassette tapes? Well, as of this time of the video, players have only been able to locate 2. I'm going to show you where these are, and then I'll tell you what hints we have been given by the developers to find the other 2. Okay, so for the first tape, in the first round, simply go to the recycling machine and jump in the hopper. You will find a tape sitting on top of the circulating blade. Let's listen to what the tape has to say.
The date of this log is January 12th, 1985. I will now be commencing experiment 343 of sugar bomb candy trials. Device is active. Yes, good boy. In this next phase, I will attempt isolating the synthetic bubblegum and berry flavors. Activating centrifuge. I have placed the samples into the device. Charlie, wait! Wait! Charlie!
Alright, so we don't know where the cassette tape is for night 2, so we will need your help in finding it. Now we do know where night 3's cassette tape is. Head to the women's bathroom and rapidly click on the door. I didn't count how many times, but if I were to guess, it's about 50. Now the door opens and you will find in the bathroom the cassette tape for round 3. Let's listen to what the tape has to say. I almost forgot that each of these tapes are labeled as Dr. Kane's lab log. Wow.
Today's date is June 5th, 1986. Commencing research experiment 182 on Jolly's ectoplasm.
Hey, quick! Help us!
What is it? What's happened?
It's Jack.
He fell.
Please, you have to help him.
I'll call an ambulance.
No! We can't.
Dr. Kane, we can use the ectoplasm.
Absolutely not. I told you, the formula requires more research. We don't even know what could...
It's not your decision to make. The formula belongs to me. So give it to him. Now!
Yes, Richard. Mr. Beekman. Strap him down there. Hide the heat
Get on,
prints.
everybody, and collect the missing parts for the slushing machine. Wait, are any of you even still alive out
Take
there?
this. Hurry now, and careful. This is the last of it.
There will be more.
Ready, Doctor?
As ready as I'll ever be.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Jack, what happened?
I can't believe it. His vitals are stable.
Well, that solves the mystery, folks. In the last video entitled The Dark Origin of Clucky, we saw Richard, aka Clucky, throw Jack Jackson off of the Polar Castle. I believe that this tape picks up right after that because we have Richard telling Dr. Kane that Jack fell. My question is, who is the lady's voice? Is that of the Pink Devil? I'd like to find out some more. Okay, so we don't know where the tape is for round 4 either, so rounds 2 and 4 remain a mystery for now. However, we are not without aid. The developer has left us some hints in the Clucky'S Discord. First of all, he indicates that they are pretty brutal to find, but that's what makes finding them fun. He then says the first one was the easiest one to find and the other 3 are actually very difficult. I can't help but agree, finding the cassette in the recycling bin was such a cinch, but we still have 2 missing out there. And here are the hints that are really going to help us. He then says that each round has a different hidden tape, but they could be anywhere in the map. He then indicates that for round 2, you can only find it if you aren't holding anything in your character's hands. So if you have an item in your inventory, you have to unequip it or you won't be able to find it. This implies that you're going to have to click on something to activate it. It sounds like a big hint, but we're told it's only a small hint. It's still going to be very hard to find. And now for that last hint that he provides us, the update indicated that there's hidden unlockable areas in the Discord. It was then confirmed that the hidden areas are related to hidden tapes. Therefore, I suggest that the hidden tapes for rounds 2 and 4 are going to be in parts of the map where you have to click on something to open and access those hidden areas. Now, here is a teaser to a tape I found that we cannot get to, but I don't think it's a real tape. So in the room with the tape player, if you clip your camera outside of the walls, you can find a building with the wallpaper from Richard Beekman's office. On the roof is a cassette tape. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no way to get a cassette tape that's outside of the walls, and you're right. It was a little bit of a bait there. What was also interesting is that while I was clipped out, I was able to see a few extra buildings, so it's worth your time to do this and take a look around and see what you can find out. But I think there's extra areas that are going to come into play, possibly that basement, ladies and gentlemen, with the fryer where the real cooking gets done. All right, so hopefully we see those in that next update. Wow, so what an update. We have new lore, we have new in-game purchases. We also have a hint to what is coming next. But let me know in the comments what you were able to find. Until next time, later, dudes.